Hello and welcome to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and I'm joined by my co-host, my cafe con leche, officially Jorge.
Hola.
Yes. How are you, darling?
Buenos dias. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, my brother.
Yes.
How's everything going? How was the weekend? How's all that good stuff?
It was fantastic. You know, the kitty gang.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the kitty gang. We're doing our thing. So Tampa Bay Fashion Week went off virtually.
Of
I was there,
course.
woo, with the dance party. Big shout out to the organizers, DJ Lady Shay, Nancy Vaughn, all the designers. You know, I got to host all the virtual runway shows.
Yes.
And then we did this Q&A. So you can't wait till next year.
And it's always a good time, of course, because they have an absolutely wonderful host. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's you.
And on that note, so it is National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes.
And coming up on the show in a couple weeks, we're going to have one of our favorite bloggers and social media personalities, Celia Ricio, because her book came out.
Yes. How
Yes.
is that?
If Dominican were a color. So we're going to get some little kiki with her to talk about her new book and everything that she's up to. So I'm excited about that.
Beautiful. And we love ourselves some Celie. I get my emails from her on a weekly basis in her organization because I am definitely committed to everything that she's doing over there with her org. So congratulations.
Oh, and something new for all of you. So now, if you go to mochamorningshow.com, you could click on the Mocha Mall tab, and it's kind of like our way of showcasing Black-owned businesses and businesses owned by the community of color. So that way, you'll be able to see that the people that we, do business with, and you can do business with them as well in the Mocha Mall. How about that?
How about that? So make sure if you have something that you want to consider or want us to consider, just get in touch with us. And we have so much more coming up for you, but
first, coffee. And for my Latinx people, cafe. Mas cafe. Primero. Meow.
You know what? Stop it.
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
All right, and we are back with Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. Of course, I'm your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and my cafe con leche, officially Jorge, is here with your weekly steamers.
Yes.
What you got for us, honey?
I'm ready. And I go, Marcos, I gotta check them out.
Okay.
So, with everything that's been going on in the past several weeks, did you guys notice who's on the cover of Vogue? Lick your body.
Ow.
Lizzo!
Yes,
Come
honey.
on, Lizzo!
Yes, she is giving them all the business.
Absolutely. Anna Wintour, I gotta give her credit. She did speak out about the things that are happening with our country and the fashion industry and being inclusive. And, she's making the steps. Lizzo on the cover of Vogue, fabulous!
Absolutely fabulous.
So that's a little sprinkle of sunshine you could put on your week. So go check that out. That story came off on the Huffington Post if you want to learn more about that particular story. But here's a very interesting story. Okay, so earlier in the summer, Naya Rivera, and she was Hollywood star. It was Glee, and some other, just Hollywood actress. Well, she passed away in a very tragic, like, boating incident with her child. But now, according to the source.com, it looks like her sister has moved in with her husband so they can, raise the child together.
What?
Hold on, let me do some math.
Wait a minute.
Plus, minus. I don't know.
It ain't adding up.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just think there's just something. I don't know.
I mean, are they like roommates or are they like together?
I don't know. So we're just going to kind of keep an eye on that and see what happens. I know that a bit too like soon. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
Let's move on from that.
So we're going to move on from that. Okay, let's talk about something really fun.
Yes.
So Barry Jenkins, remember him? Hello, director of Moonlight.
Yes.
Winning Oscars and everything. Well, he is going to be the director for the live adaptation of The Lion King.
Yes. And this is supposed to go in depth, right?
Yeah.
Of the characters of Lion King.
Yes, and this is the thing, because we've all seen all of the recent live adaptations of the Disney movies and things like that. So I just see I think this is going to be amazing.
Yes.
I can't wait to see it.
Woo-hoo.
Plus, with him as a director, I just hope I don't end up like Cats.
Right. It won't.
Kind of like us right now.
Right. I'm not a cat. Honey.
Well, okay, so here's another thing. Gabrielle Union has now, everybody remembers the television show Friends. I mean, I never really watched it, but I know of it. Well, she has put together a cast reimagining Friends if everybody wore black.
Yes.
Which is really cool. And it's more like, how a lot of times in Hollywood you get scripts and you get together with the actors and they do like table readings, just to review everything, get comfortable with the script before they actually film it.
Right.
So this is all part of just reimagining things with people of color. That were predominantly and mostly all white. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see what the, because that may lead into something you never know.
And you know what? They have some pretty good names. They have, and this is for the When We All Vote initiative with First Lady Michelle Obama. But she has Aisha Hines. Mm-hmm. She has Brian Michelle Bay. She has Uzu Aduba. I think that's how I say her name. She also has Sterling K. Brown, who is Brian's husband. So it's interesting to see how that will play out on screen. Jeremy Pope. So she has definitely has some nice folks that we'll see on this Zoom type of situation. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, and actually you can go to essence.com to read more about that. Mm-hmm. But here's what I really want to talk about today. So Mariah Carey, the meaning of Mariah. Well, the book is out, and tea is being spilled. It's things being put out in these streets, and the folks are responding. And I actually sat down. Actually, this story came out in the LA Times, but I actually watched her interview with Oprah, and then she also did a CBS This Morning with Jane Pauley. I'm like, where you been, Jane? Right? And I actually learned some I didn't realize that there was a thing with Mariah Carey's mother was jealous of her because she was an opera singer and she was jealous of her success, and how her sister pimped her out, and just how she kind of divorced herself, from her family. And it was the first time I actually kind of heard Mariah Carey just sit down and just talk.
Wow.
Without all the extraness. She did throw in a little bit of some shade up in there, but it was a real conversation. Yeah. It wasn't her diva antics and voice. It was Oprah, let me tell you about my life for a second. Mm-hmm. And everything about being locked up in her castle, and how her and Brat and the producer.
Nick Cannon.
No, the producer. Help me out, y'all. Janet Jackson's ex-boyfriend. Jermaine Dupri. Thank you, producer. Right? How he got mad because they went out for fries, and Jermaine was like, y'all better come back. Because, and it's I can't wait to actually get the book because I want to read more. According to Wendy, though, Wendy said like she knew all this stuff already, so the book wasn't for her, but it's for me because I want to get all that tea.
Well then, if that is not enough steam for your week, I don't know what is.
Oh, but wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
And speaking of which, hello, how do I get away without even mentioning that Toni Braxton wants to do the verses with either like Mary J. Blige or Mariah Carey?
First of all, I'm gonna tell you now. If it were Mary and Mariah, maybe, but Toni Braxton doesn't have enough hits to stand up against either one of them. I'm just gonna say what it is.
I may never breathe again after you haven't said that.
We'll be right back with Piping Hot.
Keisha's gonna have to unbreak my heart after that statement.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Piping. I can't.
Mocha in the Morning's Piping Hot Topics has been brought to you by Patty's Peppers, Hungarian hot and sweet peppers. Which will you choose? Why not both?
We would like to welcome one of our new partners to the show, Patty's Peppers, Hungarian hot and sweet peppers.
And they come in this zesty garlic and sweet heat. And just because you are a Mocha Marvel, you can get them for 50% off. Just use the promo code MOCHA.
That's right. Welcome.
So Keisha, which ones are you gonna get?
I'll take the sweet.
Well, why get one when you can get both?
That's right. All right, Mocha Marvels. Welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and I am joined by my wonderful sisters, my Mocha Marvels. It's like one of my favorite parts of the show. So let me introduce you to these lovely ladies. Dr. Jen Dobson.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here again this week.
Yes. Miss Kia Shakur.
What's up, everybody? Who's enjoying the wonderful weather that we're having this week?
Oh, my goodness. And Miss Kenya Woodard.
Hi, everyone. Good to be back.
Amazing. Now, we're going to jump into this Piping Hot segment, which is sponsored by Patty's Peppers. If you haven't gotten any, make sure you get you some, okay? So we have so much to talk about. Kia, you know I'm coming to you first, girl. Listen, our first presidential debate happened last night, and it was a whole hot mess. It was the most it was just, I was just sitting and watching in disbelief, quite honestly. Like, I was like, I can't believe that the most free country in the world has this to show for their leadership. What the hell happened, Kia?
You're not alone. A lot of people, pundits, correspondents, everybody had the same reaction. You know, I watched the debate. I know Kenya watched the debate as well. It was, for lack of better words, an S show. There was no decorum. There was no abiding by the rules on Trump's side. Biden did let Trump get the best of him. He did call the president a clown. He did tell him to shut up. It was just not a good look. And I watched the CNN coverage afterwards, and looking at all the correspondents and pundits' faces, just like, I am completely disgusted with both sides, is how we all feel. And I'm sorry, I agree with them. This was not a good representation of American politics. This was not a good representation of our presidential candidates. And I honestly can't blame anybody. I blame them, one person. I blame the moderator. I blame Joe Biden. I blame Trump. All of it was it was a circus, and it was awful.
Kenya, let's talk about one of the most, jarring moments of the night. There were two that really stuck out for me. One being when the moderator asked President Trump to denounce white supremacy, and he could not. And in fact, kind of gave one of these groups kind of the go-ahead, just talking about what did he say, Kenya?
He said to stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that?
someone said it was a dog whistle with a bullhorn, right? So, clearly he can't. Any expectation that he was going to denounce white supremacy, I think, if you were expecting that, you're sorely disappointed. For the rest of us, it kind of fell in line with what we're used to with this guy, right? He can't alienate his base. Are you kidding me? Listen, this is the guy who, for 90 minutes, parroted, all these quips about law and order, and the Proud Boys, are supposedly, this law and order type of, white supremacist group or whatever. And so for him to, call them out and, say, stand by, that's, him signaling to Proud Boys and those who follow, similar ideologies. Hey, listen, when I need you, be ready. That's pretty much what he's saying.
That's what it sounded like for sure. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jen, let's talk about this money and these taxes. Okay, it's reported that he pays $750 in taxes. Does that add
Yeah.
up to you for someone who's wealthy,
Uh,
billionaire?
yes, it does. You know why? Because the more you understand how the tax system was created, the more you understand how you can get away with not paying taxes.
Mm.
And unfortunately, what happens is that the middle class and the low class don't have the knowledge or the resources to make sure that they're positioning themselves to not pay taxes. Now, because I'm self employed, I understand the tax game. Trust and believe when I tell you I write off everything possible under the sun that I can write off. Where a person that is employed by somebody can't do that. And I'm not gonna say like, I mean, this might not sound great, but I don't blame him for that. I mean, if you create a system that says you can write off $70,000 in hair care every year, then why wouldn't you do it? Which is what he did, by the way. 70,000. I don't know what he's doing with his hair for 70,000 because even Black Girl Magic don't cost that much money. But whatever. So we understand, we have to recognize that those laws were put in place for the rich. Rich people created the laws, rich people take advantage of those options, and they make sure that poor people pay all the bills on it. So
Wow.
this entire country is funded by the poor and the middle class, and the rich people, get paid off of all of that, as the song goes. So it is what it is. I'm not surprised that he pays $750. I mean, at all. I'm
Yeah.
surprised he paid that much. Shoot, I thought it
Wow.
was gonna be zero.
Yeah, and that's true. That's a lot of that's a lot of truth. I mean, even Joe Biden said that on the stage that you know he understands how he's doing it, but he wants to make sure that it's not something that can happen in the future.
Well, and don't forget, at the debate, Trump himself said, I don't want to pay tax. I mean,
Yeah.
he just made it very plain. Look, if anybody should be mad, it should be his base, because shouldn't he be showing them these kind of tricks so that they don't have to pay taxes too?
Because if you are following, listen, I don't even.
Listen.
His base is stupid.
Mm.
We might call a spade at this point. His base has to be a group of the dumbest people we've ever met. And I'm talking about the people who are hardcore, who treat him like a deity. Those people.
Yeah.
Not just people who think, yeah, Trump's good for the country. I mean people who are like following him around like he's Beyonce to every single city to follow him at a rally. Those people are nuts.
And then let's even talking about um you know the things that are happening. What's going to happen when what happens if this nomination is sent through, Kia, with this Amy, what's her name, Amy Barrett?
Her name is
Like,
Amy Comey Barrett, and
mm-hmm.
she is. Here's the issue with Amy Comey Barrett. It's not that she's Republican; it's that she's super religious. That's what everybody's beefing. And a lot of the Supreme Court justices are religious, but her whole thing of the man should be the head of the household. The women shouldn't really have to work, but I work. Like, it's a weird kind of old school biblical dynamic that she brings to the table that does scare a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I mean, I'm all for having, Republican Supreme Court. I get it, but this to me, it feels like her religious values are going to overshadow her legal, what do they call it? Like legal cases, her legal mindset about a lot of things, and that makes people uncomfortably and rightfully so. I also have a problem with them comparing her to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg had a career that spanned decades. This girl is just getting started. So they're calling her the notorious ACB or something crazy like that, or
Oh no,
ABC.
ma'am.
Thank you. That was my same feeling. You don't get to be on the same level as a Ruth Bader Ginsburg or Justice O'Connor just because you got it because you got nominated.
Correct.
Congratulations on having 7 kids and 2 are adopted from Haiti. Ooh, that makes you so great. No, it doesn't. Side note, I'm really tired of wealthy white people collecting black children from other countries. We need to have that conversation because that whole thing, it works my last nerve. I can't even take it.
All right then. Well, tell us how you really feel.
Sorry.
Right.
Ah, you good. Listen, what about this notion that the Trump administration wants to appeal the extension of the census? Because people, they want to extend the opportunity for people to get their census in. That's an important thing for us, Dr. Jen. Talk to me about that.
It is. So, I mean, the fact that they're trying to appeal it is so if we stop the census, now and we don't collect those additional household numbers, it works in the favor of white communities because right now we haven't captured the full number of black and brown and Hispanic and cultures, and that means that we get less representation, and that's real. Like, representation is important. I mean, it goes back to the beginning of our civilization in the United States, having representation, making sure that our voice is heard. So if they decide that they're not going to extend that census to make sure that they capture that, that's a big problem within our communities for sure.
Absolutely. And make sure that if you haven't done your census, please go get your census done. Make sure. Just log on, get it done. All right. Now, moving into Facebook, right? Hey, producers on. All right. Moving into Facebook and how it was used in 2016 to target and deter, excuse me, black voters. Can you talk to us about that and what's expected of Facebook and other social media platforms, during this time?
Yeah, so apparently, what happened is that the Trump campaign linked up with Cambridge Analytics, which is out of the UK, a very controversial company that collects data pretty much. And they kind of teamed up to kind of come up with this list, if you will, of folks they need to target to deter from voting. And about 60% of these people or these voters were in Georgia. So, which is very interesting because if you remember, not so long ago, there was a really nasty fight between Stacey Abrams and the current governor. And we know how that turned out, right? So, Georgia has always been seen as hardcore red state. Well, according to 538, the polls, if you give any credence to the polls, right now Trump's losing. It's by just 3 percentage points, but that's still a lot of ground to make up in just what 5 6 weeks here. So, for them to target voters in these areas where they're trying to keep black voters, let me be very clear about that, black voters from getting to the polls, and they're doing it via the Facebook and other social media outlets, isn't too much of a surprise. So supposedly Facebook is trying to crack down on, preventing, fake campaign information and things like that, things that kind of, implemented policies that are supposed to crack down on that. So how effective this campaign was,
Yeah.
who knows?
All right. Now, speaking of, states and things that are happening, Kentucky, we're still dealing with, the Breonna Taylor situation and this report that they have released. I mean, there's some discrepancies in what the Attorney General reported and stated and what's on this report. Um, and we want to hear it. We want to hear it. We want to read it. Kia, talk to us about that.
Yeah, so as someone who has covered grand jury investigations, now mind you, I was not in the proceedings, had absolutely, no, idea of what was discussed. So I'm talking about after things came out. This was a surprise for me. I have never seen an instance where a juror, a grand juror, has, requested the release of the information. So that was kind of new. And initially, the attorney general agreed to do it. However, in the 11th hour, if you will, he decided that he needed more time to redact personal information. Whose personal information? Well, all of the police officers that were interviewed and other witnesses that were interviewed by the grand jury. Their personal information needs to be blocked out. Now, the question is, why didn't you just do that initially? Who in their right mind would release that information to begin with? And why do you need a week to do it?
Right. So, wow. Kia, you have some follow up with that?
Not anymore. Kenya said everything. She ruined it. Oh, God. No, but Kenya's right. The one thing I do want to point out is that this has never happened before in a grand jury proceeding where jurors actually saying, I want to release this. That's never happened before. So that's what makes this really interesting. And just like we've been saying for a while with this, it's making the AG, Cameron, whatever his name is, look really, really bad. It just makes him look incompetent.
Girl. Oh, I'm so aggravated with him. I'm aggravated is not the right word actually, but I'm just going to keep it to myself. But I really, really want to see how this plays out, and what the next steps will be if there are discrepancies found. That I mean, I'm just really interested to see how this plays out. But so yeah, moving on to some entertainment
Let's
to
be
round
petty.
out piping hot. So Lisa Ray and Debrat are sisters, real blood sisters. Um, yeah, they kind of bumped heads, recently because the brat got engaged, and girl, somebody help me, what is going on? Because Lisa was going off on her sister, okay, and was not happy with her co-host either. Oh, Kia's hand is real raised. Go ahead, girl.
This was the most ghetto mess I've ever seen on TV in my entire life. She cussed everybody smooth out. Why? I get it, you're mad at your sister for whatever reason, but you don't cuss them out. Like, and then when her other co-host tried to reel it back in, like you do, Keisha, and you do an amazing job of reeling us back in, she was like, I wasn't talking to none of y'all. Like, y'all ain't my family. I wasn't talking to none of y'all. Okay? And I was like, wow.
Mind your business.
Listen, Lisa Ray is a South Side Chicago girl. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she don't play no games, and she's very upset. As you can see, she's very upset that things that she thought she would have direct contact about with her sister, she didn't have. The brat getting engaged, things like that. And they haven't spoken, and so she was highly upset, for the brat to come in on this surprise, visit, and then try to act like everything gravy. Like, oh, hey, Lisa. Lisa's like, I'm not having it. Now, was she out of line for the customs out? Perhaps. But I can understand how she feels, though. I get it.
I mean, Jen, would you be upset if you found out via social media that's your sister Stephanie, when she got engaged? Would you have been upset?
Yes. And to be real honest, like me and my sister have never been like super, super close. But at the end of the day, like if I don't know before the rest of the world knows, I would be highly upset. Like that's supposed to be family. Like that should have been a conversation. Like that could be a text message. Hey, just FYI, I just want you to know, sis, like, I got engaged, blah, blah, I love you. I'm gonna hit you up soon. I'm busy. Cool, something. But
Yeah.
for her to, like, for all of that to go down, and then to show up and do this surprise thing, but you haven't even contacted me. Nah, I would have been mad too.
Well,
So.
some people are saying that the reason why Debrat hasn't contacted her because Lisa felt a way about her coming out as gay. Lisa had a feeling about that and was not 100% supportive, and has had some homophobic comments that she's made recently, and that's why Debrat has kind of distanced herself. And I get Debrat thinking, maybe if I just do this olive branch of celebrating her birthday, maybe that can be the jumping off point of things getting better, which I get that. But Lisa was so mad, there was just no coming out of it. She was just mad at everybody, at the world. It was a lot. And it was
Do you
bad.
see my face? Who the heck? Who was surprised about the brat coming out?
Right, exactly. That was my thing. Like, who didn't know, right? Like, when she, in fact, when she
Did she
actually,
need to?
when she's right, when she
She
said
really
that, I
didn't
was like,
need to
what is
come out
this?
though. That was the worst kept secret from the dawn of
Ever,
time. Like it was awful.
ever.
But she, for a while, apparently, Debrat was telling her sister and family members that she was bisexual, which I'm trying to figure out which men did she date to qualify as bisexual. Like
Maybe that video she did with was that with Tyrese when she was all girly and stuff?
Well, no, it supposedly she dated Allen Iverson.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right.
So, but I'm just not understanding what her sexuality has to do with her sister, right? Like, if she bi, gay, whatever, what does it have to do with Lisa Ray?
Well, the problem though is
that's not her business.
The problem though is if your family doesn't respect that, and like, because my family, like, I'll be real 100. Like, if I would have come out gay to my mom, or like, they would probably disown me because they don't understand, equality. They don't understand any of that stuff. And so, if that was part of it, then I can understand why she didn't reach out to her. Like, A, you're not going to disrespect my girl. B, you're not going to disrespect the person I am and the lifestyle I want to live. So sometimes you got to cut family off. Plain and simple. I've cut plenty of people off in the family, and like, oh well, I ain't talking to you. So like, if that's what happened, then I understand why there was some time that went by that they didn't speak.
Yeah, but she should also know her sister and
right,
how she might react to that.
Her sister was like, you know how much I love you, like, you know how much, like, and then you I haven't heard from you, like that. So that tells me like there was some other stuff going on besides Justin.
Well, we wish the brat and her new fiance much success. And thank you, my Mocha Marvels, for joining me once again for an amazing Piping Hot. We'll see you next week, ladies. Mwah, 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 mwah. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be right back with more Mocha in the Morning. Stay tuned. Promotional consideration is brought to you by the Klingman Group.
Hello, Mocha in the Morning style babes. It's Liz Everett, your style and beauty guru, and I'm so excited because we are going to talk fall trends. Now, it's time for you to rock life like a runway, and here's how. Number one, statement accessories are back. That's statement earrings, statement necklaces, layering necklaces. Listen, it's a royal vibe this season. You want to think about fabrics like brocade. You want to think about fabrics like velvet, also leather and denim. Now, the cool part about denim being back, you can think about embellished denim with appliques or pearls, ripped jeans, and fabulous denim duster length jackets, as well as fabulous denim dresses. Pair that with your statement accessories and you are ready to look fabulous. Oh, and don't forget your rhinestone mask.
Your Mocha Minute is brought to you by blackinthebay.com, your online connection to everything that's Black in the Bay. Woo! Once again, our Mocha Marvels brought it for this Friday morning. Okay? Woo! Jorge, that was quite a bit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Listen, we have...
That was like getting a ticket on the Loco motion. The express ticket.
What are you trying to say? We are an opinionated group of women. Okay, anyway. Listen, it was such a blast to have you all with us again this Friday. This is our, second show of our 4th season, and we have much more to go for season 4. Once again, we thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. If you didn't share it, make sure you share with your family and friends, because we want more Mocha Marvels to follow us and be a part of our family. And of course, if you have anything that you want to share with us, feel free to contact us via email or on any of our social channels. And Jorge, tell us where we are.
You can find us on every single social media platform. So not only are we streaming live on Facebook, but you can also find us streaming live on YouTube.
Ooh, yes. So, take a look at this week's Mocha Moment.
Music!
Alright, so we'll see you next week. Thank you once again for tuning in to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend.
In Spanish, that would be sabor.
Adios. Hey.